Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about thoracic cage part 2. Let's not waste any of your time. Let's get right to it. Alright, in this video, as you can see, we're going to be emphasizing the limbs portion of this. We're going to be talking about upper limbs, working our way from the shoulder out to the fingertips, and then from the pectoral girdle down through the lower limb as well. So when we're talking upper limb, obviously we're talking about this stuff right in here. 30 bones per limb, and of course from here all the way to your wrist, I mean, there's just 3. So we know it tells you how many is in your hand. There must be a bunch in there, and there is, right? We'll see that. But it's the idea of starting with that humerus, working our way to the ulna and radius. We'll talk about how to tell which is the ulna, which is the radius, both on you and in the models, which will be super important. And of course, then we'll go through what is in the hand as well. Alright, so again, upper limb continued. In our wrist, we got 3 carpus bones in there. And of course, 4 in our manus, 19 in the 2 groups. And of course, we'll talk about why is it that your fingers have those natural wrinkly areas or creases. We'll talk about that as well. But let's first begin to break down the humerus bone. This obviously is the top part up here, and of course, because this is the humerus bone, that's why you get that funny bone reference down in it when you hit that, and causes that either to go to sleep or sting or whatever. But again, starting at the top of that, you can see the head there, and it's got that faucet type cartilage on there. And of course, when we're in the classroom, we'll emphasize this, but when you're looking at a humerus bone, which you would think it looks like a small leg bone, but they have a very different head and neck arrangement. But you can look at them and decide, okay, this is the elbow end, this is the shoulder end, and that simply comes from the structure. When it has that rounded head to where it looks like it's going to send us something so it can rock, okay, or spin, that is the head. That's the part that goes up to the shoulder. And the part that looks like it's going to rock back and forth on something, okay, that is the bottom part. That's the elbow or kneecap section. Got those 2 little ridges, and whereas the humerus, the upper part, just has the single socket type end. Yeah, certainly going to edit that out. Alright, so continuing with the humerus, we got that distal end, the part that's rounded. Okay, that's going to come in contact with the ulna and radius. And again, we'll talk about how to tell which is which. With the reference to the thumb, reference to the pinky, or on the inside, outside, that kind of stuff. But it's designed to be able to sit on top of that where it can rock back and forth, from when your elbow opens and closes, that type of motion. Alright, so now the radius, And ulna, first thing I want to talk about is that stuff in between. There is some kind of a membrane tissue layer, cartilage tissue layer, that is designed to kind of hold those things in place, hold them together so they're not flopping around. I know they're attached at both ends, but you don't want them moving in the middle too much. And the way to tell that which is which, as you can see, the radius is on the not on that one. No, it's on the next one. But the radius is by the thumb, so it's on the outside. So no matter what arm you're looking at, it's on the outside. You can feel that right there. Okay, that's the radius on the outside by the thumb. And the ulna then is on the inside, but we'll get to that. And again, if you're looking at that picture, the part at the top, that's what's going to come in contact with the knee, and then what's on the bottom will become contact with the I said knee, elbow. Okay, so the top part, the radius on the inside, or by the thumb, and I was talking about the rocking part. Yeah, the rocking part coming off of the humerus. It kind of sets on both of that, and of course the ulna is longer. That's another way you can tell the difference between the two. The ulna is longer. Alright, so again, the radius continued. We got the neck, we've got the tuberosity, and of course the styli process. Again, we're talking about process, there's a little knob sticking out. Tuberosity is that's a section of the, in this case, radius. But again, when we have them out and we're looking at them on their day, we will look at all of those things and talk about them all. We'll put them up on the screen, we'll have them on your Chromebooks, and then we will talk about them individually. No, 8. Alright, now for the ulna, again, it's the longer of the two. You can see it over there, just, they're end to end. The ulna is just a little bit tighter. Now the olecranium, that's at the top up there. That's designed to meet up with the in the elbow area, and of course the coronoid process, or the radial. I mean, that's the wrist end. Again, when you look at the ulna and radius, the way they're structured, one has wrist duty, the other has elbow duty. In those, all those combinations in between. Transition. All right. Again, that intercostus membrane, that's the stuff in between, kind of holding everything in place. Okay, now to the hand. Okay, now to the hand, and you can see there, as I mentioned, lots of bones in the upper limb, but the first 3 are only, fairly long, and cover quite a bit. It's when we get to the wrist. Okay, the wrist has the 8. No. What does it say? 8 bones. Yeah, I had it right. 8. So you can kind of see those 3 along the ridge here, and then you got some bones at each area to facilitate that going well. But you can also see why there'd be so many. I mean, you got a row of 3, you got a row of 5, and then you got a series of 5s. You got the first, second, third, fourth section. Okay, again with all, and of course you got sets of 5. So if you got 3 of those on the thumb and then 4 on everybody else, that really adds up fast as far as having 5 total. But those are the phalanges. Let's see, let's transition here. All right, and then looking at that same picture, then you got the yellow at the bottom, then you got the green, the metacarpals, and then just a series of, and you can see the 5 sections, or I shouldn't say the 5 sections, the 4 sections. And then when you look at your finger, you got those natural creases right there where those cartilage would be found. Of course, the thumb, lots of uses to talk about. Difference between ulna and radius would be a major one of that. Well, that's our video over thoracic cage part 2. When we come back at the next time, we'll be talking about lower limbs. We'll see you then.